Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX Deepdive with me, Vineet Malhotra, and today we turn our attention to reports that have sent shockwaves across South Asia. The man on your screens is Eric Gillan, political and economic counselor of the US Embassy in Dhaka, who is at the center of a report that has revealed quiet alignment between the United States and the Jamaat-e-Islami, one of the most controversial Islamist organizations in the region. The report published by the Washington Post also includes a leaked audio clip of a US diplomat that reveals the United States' intention of being open to work with the resurgent Islamist movement, which has seen political alarms raised by Bangladesh's BNP and deep concern within India's security establishment. So what is really being alleged? Why does the Jamaat-e-Islami really matter, and why is India watching this so closely? Let's break it down for you. Well, the audio reveals how sections within the US diplomatic and policy ecosystem are engaging with or indirectly accommodating Jamaat-e-Islami linked political forces in Bangladesh and the wider region. Now, the context here is important. Bangladesh is heading into a politically sensitive phase with the first polls since Sheikh Hasina's ouster slated for the 12th of February. The allegation is that Washington's pressure for political inclusivity and democratic processes is being interpreted on the ground as space being reopened for Jamaat-aligned actors despite their past record. And India sees this as a dangerous recalibration. The details of the report show the United States' willingness to step up engagement with Bangladesh's largest Islamist party, poised to have its best ever performance at the elections that are now less than a month away. The Washington Post reports detail a closed-door meeting held between a female Bangladeshi journalist and a US diplomat based in Dhaka that took place on 1st of December. Audio clips reveal that the US diplomat stated that Bangladesh has turned Islamic and predicted that Jamaat-e-Islami would do better than it's ever done before. The diplomat then stated, "We want them to be our friends," asking if the reporters in the room would be willing to bring members of the party's influential student wing on their programs. The diplomat also downplayed worries that Jamaat-e-Islami would try to force its interpretation of Islamic law on Bangladesh, saying that Washington had leverage that it was prepared to use. When asked to respond, the US Embassy spokesperson stated that the conversation was a routine gathering of the record discussions between US Embassy officials and local journalists, and numerous political parties were discussed. She asserted the United States does not favor one political party over another and plans to work with whichever government is elected by the Bangladeshi people. Now, from New Delhi's perspective, this is not just about Bangladesh's internal politics. This is about regional security. Jamaat-e-Islami is not just another political party, it is an ideological movement with transnational reach, influence over student groups, charities, mosques, and according to Indian intelligence assessments, radical networks as well. And before we delve further, let's take a closer look at the Jamaat-e-Islami and its activities. The Jamaat-e-Islami emerged from the then East Pakistan wing of the Jamaat-e-Islami Pakistan in 1979. It is one of the two contemporary mainstream political parties in the country, alongside the Bangladesh Nationalist Party. The origin of the party lies in Jamaat-e-Islami movement founded by Sayyid Abdul Allah Maududi in 1941 in British India. Its predecessor, Jamaat-e-Islami Pakistan, opposed the independence of Bangladesh and the dismemberment of Pakistan. Maulana Abul Allah Maududi, the founder of Jamaat-e-Islami, saw the partition as creating a temporal border that would divide Muslims from one another. He advocated for the whole of India to be reclaimed for Islam. In 2013, the Bangladesh Supreme Court cancelled the registration of the party, and in early August 2024, with the surge of the July Revolution, the party was banned by the Awami League government, a decision reversed following Sheikh Hasina's ouster. The party has also been at the center of a number of controversies, especially linked to India. While Jamaat denies institutional ties with extremist organizations such as Jamaatul Mujahideen, Bangladesh extremism investigations have reported overlaps in recruitment patterns, ideological messaging, and activist networks. The party has historically opposed India and Bangladesh's strategic alignment, and Indian intelligence agencies have previously flagged safe houses, transit routes and arms movement across northeast India's borders by anti-India elements during the BNP-Jamaat coalition rule of 2001-2006. India's concern is therefore threefold. Firstly, border security. A Jamaat resurgence could embolden extremist elements along India's eastern borders. Secondly, radicalization pipelines, particularly in West Bengal, Assam and the northeast. The third, strategic encirclement, fears with Pakistan's history of backing Jamaat. And for India, any external legitimization of Jamaat is not neutral diplomacy. It is a strategic risk multiplier. Now, Michael Kugelman, a senior fellow for South Asia at the Atlantic Council, says that the American outreach to Jamaat-e-Islami could potentially drive another wedge between US and India. Relations between the countries are already at a low point owing to disagreements over India's recent conflict with Pakistan, its purchases of Russian oil, an unfinished trade deal, and punishing US tariffs on many Indian products. Kugelman said that India's biggest fear in Bangladesh for many years has been Jamaat. India views the party as being allied with Pakistan and a threat to its regional security strategy. Interestingly, it is Bangladesh's own opposition party, the BNP, that has raised concern instead of celebrating these reports. Why is that? Because the BNP understands the risk of being painted as Jamaat independent. The BNP leadership has publicly warned that external diplomatic pressure should not destabilize Bangladesh's secular framework or reopen the door to forces banned or discredited after 1971 war crimes trials. So the question India is asking tonight is simple. Can strategic convenience justify engaging with ideological movements that history has already judged? For New Delhi, the answer is clear, and that is why these reports are being watched with such intense concern, because signals today shape security tomorrow. And we'll talk about this with our guest. Joining us on the show is Major General Sudhakarji, Senior Geopolitical and Strategic Defense Expert. General Sudhakarji, appreciate you taking out the time with us. Obviously, India's concerns, sir, at this point in time are twofold. Firstly, the Americans should not, trifle with a body like Jamaat, which has deep-rooted connections, with a number of terrorist outfits as well. In one way or the other, they represent the likes of Hamas in the subcontinent if given a choice to govern Bangladesh. And secondly, things cannot be worse between India and Bangladesh at this point in time. If this party comes to power with the support of the Americans, it's only a matter of time before tensions will flare sky high.
Good evening, Vinit. Thank you for inviting me for your show. You have made two very important and relevant questions, and these are two critical issues, I would say. The first thing is, yes, definitely US is playing with fire, but given the sequence of events in past 1.5 years or so, you would agree that there is a gradual acceptance and legitimization of non-state actors world over. A case in point, what we see in Syria today, the present president, he also at one point in time was a Al-Qaeda member, as also ISIS member. So what has happened to the rules-based international order? Why has he been put as president? Why is he called as the smartest president in the Committee of Nations? So there is a gradual shift. Same is the case with Afghanistan. The same Taliban against whom America kept on fighting for nearly 20 odd years and had a hasty withdrawal in August 2021. They have started engaging and they have started removing the sanctions and the bounty which had been imposed on some of the important leaders. One of them is Sirajuddin Haqqani, if I recall correctly. And there is a gradual acceptance. I won't go that far. I'm trying to make a point that at one point in time, even now, we have not formally accepted the Taliban in Afghanistan, yet we have started engaging for meaningful contribution to the people-friendly projects that we have launched long back. We spent around 3 billion plus. Same is the case with Pakistan. Pakistan no longer can be admitted as a state or a country in the rules-based international order. I would say there is a military rule in a different name and frame, and behind the military rule, what we used to call as non-state actor have become virtual state actors. So those state actors have been accepted into the realm or assimilated into the realm of the formal and official architecture of a national security apparatus. Now come to Bangladesh, you have Yunus. Yunus, we all know how he was inserted into the administrative hierarchy of Bangladesh and what he promised at the time when he came and what is he delivering now. So therefore all these are being driven by USA. CIA is playing a very important role. There is a gradual shifting of the concept of foreign policy of USA under Trump's regime. And in my opinion, my take on the whole issue is that this is highly dangerous. What they are playing today may turn out to be welcoming the fire into the homeland security of USA. So therefore, they have to exercise caution. Coming to the second question which you made, I totally agree with you. This is a very dangerous situation which Bangladesh is going through, and it actually poses a serious security threat, not only from Siliguri chicken snake point of view or the Seven Sisters, the entire subcontinent. Because I see that there is a bigger design of global caliphate in making, which had been promulgated way back in 2014 by Daesh, that is the ISIS-IL. They had said that in times ahead they will be extending the global caliphate. What was existing earlier in 2017 across Syria and Iraq, it will cut across the subcontinent, South Asia subcontinent, and go across Southeast Asia towards Australia and New Zealand. Recently, we have had a very unfortunate incident of loss of innocent lives and one of the iconic beaches in Australia. That was not one small little thing. It is a tip of the iceberg although, but there is a bigger plan. That plan is turning out to be emitting from or taking birth. The Bangladesh is turning out to be a big fountainhead of Islamic fundamentalism, and the center of Islamic fundamentalism is not Jamaat. There is Muslim Brotherhood which took birth in 1928 in Egypt. It is because of Muslim Brotherhood it kept on spreading the Sharia law concept all along the entire Middle East. Now some of the major Arabic countries have banned Muslim Brotherhood, but they have been given sanctuary in Europe. In some countries in Europe, that Muslim Brotherhood has been actually ushered in with the help of Qatar and Turkey into Bangladesh, so that it becomes the epicenter of the caliphate which they had thought of in 2014, because the ISI of Pakistan and the ISIS Khorasan is one of the verticals, as we all know, that it got into splinter groups of the Levante group, one Northwest Africa, and ISIS Khorasan, Central Asia, Afghanistan and India further south. So this ISIS Khorasan is selected Bangladesh as one of the points from where the caliphate is going to expand. And what does this caliphate mean? It means the start point of the caliphate to manifest will be in form of radicalization. What is radicalization? It is already happening in India. So therefore there has to be very strong countermeasures applied by the Indian security apparatus, not only to protect the Siliguri Rai chicken snake and Seven Sisters, but also take effective preventive measure so as to counter the radicalization along the eastern flank of India as also into the hinterland. That's all. Back to you.
Fair enough, sir. Appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for those insights. We take a short break now. Be right back.